Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's Monday. Remember we used to call them Moon Day Lives? Oh, good times. But today we're talking about your purpose here, why it is you're meant to be here. You really are here to make a difference. And so it's so important that you be the rebel, is really what this is about, calling in that rebel energy. So if you're new here, hello, welcome. My name's Fola. To those of you returning, Tahira, hello, I see you. Hi, happy Monday. Thanks for being here. We're gonna just, tune into the energy for the collective around this concept of the rebel. And then I'll get into personal card pulls for those of you who are interested. You can let me know. Of course, as always, ooh, members get priority readings along with people who pay through the PayPal link, which I think I've pinned there. So if that interests you, you can do that. I do try to get to everyone, but I've just been finding there's more and more people showing up. And I want to make sure if you're like feeling pretty serious about having that reading. I also take private, like one-on-one readings. You can head to the link in the description to book that if you feel called. But yes, let's just take a moment to just center in here, tuning into your body, into the breath, the space that you find yourself in. And we're just going to call to your guides, your ancestors, to those angels, all those that wish to support us on our path. And we're going to also call to some trickster energy, that energy that represents all the tricksters, all the Heyoka medicine, which, it's really a shadow energy. We're going to just ask that be present so that we can learn and be playful within it, but also have clarity. Because as we all know, a trickster can sometimes bring other things into the mix. So just calling all of that present here as we go through these readings today. Okay, I'm making a list, checking it twice. Tahira, I got your name here. Hi, Lulu. Hello. Okay. Nice to have you join in here today. So, so let's check the collective cards. Also, I want to just give a little shout out to all of you doing your work, like this blood moon that just occurred yesterday. I don't know how you're feeling. Maybe you're just finding today you're needing to do some self-care. That's totally okay. But thank you. Thank you for being willing to look at your shadow and to make this evolution, this natural evolution of humanity so much greater than it can sometimes feel like it is when we're in the position of processing our shit, turning our shit into gold, transforming our lives. It's not easy, but it's so worth it. And that's really what I'm about here. Moving beyond that surface level healing, the spiritual fluff, which again, there's nothing wrong with spiritual fluff. I love repatterned numbers, synchronicities, all that stuff, but it's about going deeper than that so we can really live these lives of gold. And if that's something that interests you outside of just these readings and the videos that I share, maybe you want to join me on September 18th. It's a Thursday in the evening, Mountain Standard Time. We're going to be meeting on a Zoom call to tune into the energies, and it's going to be a great opportunity for you to gain some insights into your life and to receive mentorship. I'm going to have hot seat mentorship during this call together. So one or two people will see kind of what it looks like. We'll get a chance to actually process through using the different tools and magic that I offer. Some of you know what that looks like. I wish I could explain it. You just kind of have to experience it. But it's a free call. I'm hoping to host these every month. If that interests you, the link's in the description and you can sign up there. So let's pull some cards for the collective. Hi, Death. What do you do here? Well, we're going to pull some cards for the collective around this concept of being a rebel, making a difference. So whatever we need to know from the highest source here for the collective to really tune into, I guess, what spirit wants us to know. about being this rebel. And so I was going to say being a failure. We have here the 7 of discs. So, well, it's a positive note. Oh, you guys, I had an interesting experience yesterday, all about failure, perceived failure. So, you know, oh, this is lovely. This is lovely. 8 of Cups, indolence, also very positive. Which it's funny because we're talking here about this energy of a rebel. We're talking about something that is not what it seems, right? If you think about all the concepts of the rebel, the trickster energy, it's what is put into the society at a given time that's needed for its evolution. So that's really what this is about. Is things haven't been working in the world around us. We have a very earthy disc card here. It hasn't been working. Things have maybe been perceived as like they've given off an illusion of like beauty and an illusion of like opportunity, but it's like then we're left wondering, oh, but our society seems to be crumbling, the economics seem to be crumbling, blah 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 blah. It's like, what's the point of this? And maybe you yourself have been feeling this failure energy. That this is kind of what I was getting at. It's like there is no such thing as a failure. They're just opportunities to grow and learn. So whatever might be going on in your life right now, where you've been feeling this sense of like, oh, I just want to throw in the towel, like everything I've hoped for to shift, my life or the experience of humanity, like, up leveling humanity, if we can call it that, which it's not a task we carry as a burden as an individual, but rather we get to individually do it, which then mirrors back on the collective, like whole of humanity. This feeling of just wanting to throw in the towel, I hear that, I get it. But like this reading, I think is going to really be an encouragement for you to move beyond that and to see that even in what seems like failure, imagine like the disciples when Jesus was arrested, right? And taken. And during the Last Supper, I don't know if you're familiar with the stories in the Bible. That's definitely my upbringing. I moved towards other more esoteric kind of perspectives. But if you were to think about how those disciples were being told by Jesus, like, oh, like I'll be gone soon. He's basically spelling it out for them. I'm going to rise up in 3 days, like, and overcome the grave. But imagine when he was arrested and these disciples see miracles for like however long it was, years, I think a couple years, right? Was it? I don't even know. And then to see that this miracle worker was detained and then executed before them. And here they are, and we see it in the stories, like Peter, I think it was, denounces Jesus like 3 times before the crow caws or does its little cawing thing, roostering. Just like thinking about what that would have felt like for them. Even Jesus, like, did Jesus really know what was going to go on? To me, Jesus is like a beautiful example of the rebel, even though many people wouldn't really perceive it as that. We tend to want to think, oh, like the Antichrist, evil, darker energies are the rebel, but it's like anyone can be and have this rebel archetype inside of them. And every one of those people goes through that sort of experience of what is perceived as failure, right? And we can either completely hide and not put ourselves out there, or we can choose to continually show up. So we have here also the 8 of Cups. I've placed on one side this card of indolence. Very grim. It's interesting because I'm seeing even here where it feels like a lack of connection spiritually. So if whatever beliefs you've been holding on to or any thoughts you've had that like if you are this trickster rebel person who stands kind of as a trailblazer outside of the norm of society and that you don't deserve to receive the blessings or the love from spirit, from the higher realms, from others, like we're going to ask the angels just to clear that. So whatever that brings up for you, because I'm seeing here how like these cups, The lower cups are kind of like receiving some, like just barely drips of water, but the top cups are like not sharing anything out. And I'm seeing those top cups as almost like the top sephira of the tree of life. So the supernal triad, like Mother, Father, Almighty, like this higher aspect, the divine. And so if you've been feeling a bit of this cut offness and you're like in this story, like, oh, I just don't deserve it. Or if I was a rebel, I wouldn't be, if I, as a rebel, I shouldn't be receiving from God or whatever. You just cut yourself out, or it feels like you've been cut out. This is part of that process. Like, what did Jesus say on the cross? Like, God, why did you forsake me? Look, can you imagine that? Like, I'm the Son of God. This whole time he's preaching this thing, and then, oh my gosh, where did you go when I need you at my worst time of need, I guess. Whew, so many things around that. Like, it's very gloomy, but I want to like point out we have the Princess of Dis, and I love this, and I'm pretty sure this card is tied to the upcoming like equinox time. It's like the very earth of earth energy. It's like we're just around the corner of you recognizing that all of this story, all of this depths of like, I'm seeing it as like the bottom rung of the like hero's journey, or that wheel that you've been going through. It's like now you're coming up to the resurrection, the starting of something new, a new chapter. Okay. Whew. Okay. I'm excited for these to start again. I think you were talking about the collective, Alchemy Collective. Hey, Tara. Yes, this is going to be a little unique than from our Ouroboros circles that were happening before. I'm hoping it'll be like not more interactive. Oh, I got like a shit ton of cards here. Let's just put that there. But it's going to be a little different. It's going to be more like y'all be leaving with something. Let's put it that way. Okay. Oh, okay. I'm going to just go like this because this is how I'm seeing it falling. I kind of got a wheel going around here. So 5 of Swords here, a defeat. So this I put under the indolence card. It's definitely the defeat that you are experiencing. The thoughts about, oh, I just can't be or show up as this human that I'm feeling called to. Like whatever the doubts are that you can't receive blessings or love from spirit or from others because you're this rebel, this like outskirts individual. All this stuff is just in your head. And I love how this is like an inverse pentagram as well, because it just reminds me of like that devil card. The idea that like the devil, the rebel, this like oppressive energy, it just really comes from inside of yourself. It's not an external thing. No one's pushing you, right? You actually have, the push helps you to develop, right? But those moments where you feel this sense of like defeat or a lack of purpose or clarity, it's like all just stemming from this mind. Okay. So you're being invited here to really bring awareness. I'm going to probably pull some cards on this to just kind of clarify, like maybe there's some way we can explore shifting the thoughts. Redirecting thoughts, not to ignore what's showing up or the doubt, but like to meet it and then transform it, right? Because at the bottom, we have the 10 of Cups. Hi, Robin. Hello, Robin from NYC. I love it. Nice to have you here. We have satiety. Like, isn't that a beautiful image or transition from this 8 of Cups to then feeling full? And it's funny because I placed this card like at the bottom of what's almost being formed like a wheel. And it's not at all in like the order of like it's working in your favor and then goes horrible and then starts to improve again. It's almost like there's no real sense of when these things are going to show up. And isn't that very much like how the rebel is? The concept of Hyoka, like from my understanding, the indigenous belief, it's like this trickster. I think Loki from the Norse tradition, just as important, if not like one of the most important parts of the Norse mythology from what I understand. It's not like I've read every story, but it's like he is kind of the root cause of a lot of major shifts that occur within the Norse like pantheon, the creations of various parts of the human existence, or like the earth, I guess we could say, because of his call to just kind of mess things up. But what it's showing here with this to me is like, it's like he recognizes his role, he recognizes his purpose, even when it has a shadowy aspect. Okay. We have the Empress that came out here. Lots of like Venus-y stuff here. We have Venus on the Five of Swords. We have Venus, in my opinion, with the 7 here, like Netzach. And we have Venus here again with the Empress. So there's just a lot here around like even that light bringer energy, the Luciferian energy, which is, the morning star, Venus. There's something here about this door that's awakening for you over the next couple weeks as we enter into this equinox time that is going to help you to like really tune into your strength as the trickster. What I'm kind of hearing is like, what can you do? Like, what's something you can do that you've maybe been feeling called to do that like wants to shake things up? And how can you carry out that one task? Okay. Actually, I want to pull one of these first. I said we would check something about the thoughts, didn't I? So what's something we can maybe be aware of around these thought patterns of defeat, something that can shift it? Something that shifts our thoughts. I love how these cards kind of match the color of the card there. Blues, greens, purples. Whew. You guys saw that. Like, it just went flying out, right? Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Friendship. That's an interesting one. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. So this definitely has helped me. I would say like my partner is a very like strong trickster energy as well, like even more so than I am, believe it or not. And it helps for me to like hear his perspective at times, around like how I'm perceiving myself. And I think this can apply to any friendship, but like anyone that you trust that says it as it is, someone that like really calls you out, and sees you for you, like unconditionally loves you. I feel like in order to move beyond this defeat energy, with the thoughts of how you're perceiving yourself, it's like go to a friend, go to a mentor, a coach, whatever that looks like, your therapist, and just be like, this is where I'm coming from. And I'm having these thoughts of like, oh, I just can't continue on in this way with this mind, with what I want to do. Like, can you just mirror to me the truth about who I am and how I be? And I think that's a really powerful gift to bring new awareness, to kind of like turn this into the upright, balanced energy of that pentagram. So, friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Who can you call in? Who can you speak to about your making a difference and how it is that you're showing up? Okay. Oh, Tahira says, I'm loving this collective reading. It resonates. I'm going to start creating. Yeah. Yes. Please, please, please. Because, every, how do I want to word this? Every change that's happened in humanity, that's like up-leveled humanity along the path, it's because of someone who shook it up. I've talked about this before, when we sometimes do like bibliomancy or reading of certain books, and how many of these authors, old occultists and like magicians, these people who were connected were either like burned at the stake or executed or just like completely like put out, right? But we like rely on that information that they brought forth. It was just not at the right time. Like really, it was like ahead of its time. And that's part of our being the rebel. Making the difference is the person who's willing to be on the outskirts, to be the trailblazer. And it can be so difficult. But we can bind together or unionize, harmonize with other people who are of like minds. I mean, that's kind of why we're all here, I think, in this community. Like, really, it's like us joining together and recognizing, hey, we can do this. And the beautiful thing is we're not being burned at the stake or executed, like, for the most part, I don't think. Maybe we might fear we would be, like, publicly executed, but that's not going to happen, right? Cancel culture, like, I can't remember where that was, but they were talking about, like, and what one should do, and this would be kind of a shadow worky thing, is to imagine like being canceled. Imagine being so big you get canceled. That in a way is like an execution, which is kind of interesting. But like, how would you then approach that? Feel it. Like it's okay to embrace those energies because sometimes that stuff's inevitable, right? I think Jesus walked around knowing that like an end was coming to him, right? Like that everything he was doing, he was prophesying that. Um, because like all things like the wheel come to a place, but it's like not really the end. It's just all about planting seeds in the whole of humanity so that wherever it's going to go next. And I guess that's kind of this Princess of Dis to me. It's like a bit of that, like planting something, your light, because she's holding this like staff and pointing it down to the earth. Yes, Robin, I'll put your name down here. Okay, what card did I have here? Little Luxuries generates luxurious experiences and surroundings. Well, what I hear with this is the idea of that very Netzach Venus energy. How do I want to tie this? I was like kind of like wanting to see kind of like this beautiful, like you like dolling yourself up, I guess. Putting yourself out there, being the eccentric kind of like vision of yourself, dressing in particular ways, tuning into that. Like this could even be a simple step in terms of that uh, being like this rebel. How is it that you can dress? How is it you can shift your physical environment a bit so that you can start to like display this? Maybe it's like an artwork, piece of artwork. It's like a nude artwork. I don't know, something, right? Like this could be things showing up for where it's like, oh, well, I just can't I can't be that out there. But can you? And know that it's going to create positive ripples. Or, and this is the fun about the trickster rebel energy, is any ripple is a good ripple. So with that being said, sometimes we have to be the one to instigate something or activate something in someone that they don't like because it's shadow, right? It brings something up for them. And we can judge ourselves, think we're doing something wrong, bad, but it's like that's all necessary because, yeah. So, I mean, doesn't mean you have to be an asshole. Like, you could still have compassion for people, but know that sometimes you're going to just activate certain things for folks. Okay. I'm going to pull an animal card and then we're going to go into the personal readings. So, which animal wants to guide? Isn't this Loki's animal, the wolf? Oh, I got to check this. I could be wrong about that. Loki's animal. Fenrir, the monstrous wolf of Norse mythology, was the son of the god Loki. Oh, let me read a little bit about this guy. Fearing Fenrir's strength and knowing that only evil could be expected of him, the gods bound him with a magical chain made of the sound of a cat's footsteps, the beard of a woman, the breath of fish, and other elements. Oh, this is a very vicious story. Interesting. So according to one myth, Fenrir will devour the sun, and in Ragnarok, kind of like the end time, I guess, he will fight against Odin and swallow him. And then Odin's son will avenge him. Interesting. Anyways, that's a little side note there. That's just from like a Britannica website. But I love how we just have the wolf show up. Like that's kind of like there's like an energy there tied to Loki. This fierce creature that he spawned with this giantess, Angerboda was her name. That's quite the name for a giantess. But if you think about the wolf, to me the coyote, but like the wolf, this energy of like mysterious and hidden, vicious if need be, working in groups, but also can work alone. Like there's something here. If you've ever seen or touched like a wolf fur, maybe this will come up. I definitely encourage if you can, ethically, obviously. Just imagine like feeling the scruffiness of this animal, right? And like the fact that it can be like so vicious, but also playful. There's something about that I guess maybe we just need to tune into. So calling that wolf energy. And knowing that that wolf, that Fenrir who's created, has a purpose, a prophesied purpose to create this destruction, right? Pretty much destruction, devouring the sun. Holy smokes. So that something beautiful can be birthed from that. There's something there. So whatever that might mean. Okay. I think that's it for those readings. Ooh, let me go back here. Dee-doo-doo, dee-doo-dee. Making a lot of sounds, aren't I? Okay. So we just, thank those guides for those cards, for that guidance, the messages, and the clarity over the next 2 weeks to really be able to walk the path that is calling us to be walked. Because I know it ain't always easy. Again, tune into the friendships, tune into the people that want to support you. Hi, John Army. I will put your name on there. Okay. Well, let's get into the readings. Again, if you're new here, I kind of do priority reading. So members get priority. That means if you have that little thing, star or whatever by your name, you can easily hit join. You can also go to that link in the pinned comments and send a donation there, and I will put your name closer to the top. So, but otherwise, I think I'm going to get to pretty much everyone within the time, hopefully. And yes, your name's on there, John. So we're going to start with Tahira, though. So let's start with a animal card. Tahira, calling to your guides. Ooh, shark. I just heard like Shark Week. Well, this guy. Have you got this card before? I feel like you did. I don't know. He looks kind of happy. Like he looks kind of like derpy funny is how I want to describe him. Okay. Well, whatever that means for you, Tahira. We're going to call to that shark energy. Let's see. What's this difference for you? What do the cards have to say? Oh, too many cards. I don't want that many cards. We're going to try to get everyone in. Interference. So I feel like this is the Eight of Swords, by the way. I feel like there's something here wanting to really just bring awareness to you, to hear around like your thoughts. Remember that your thoughts are magical, okay? And that being said, your thoughts can like create difficulties, but they can also create protection, which is kind of what I'm seeing with this, with the swords being like this. So how can you use your thoughts this week to like draw in this protective energy, this shark like energy, but also like going for what you want and like creating a, like no one's going to just go swim with sharks. Like we know sharks are going to be like probably vicious, right? And I think the shark would know this, like it would know it's like at the top of the food chain. And that creates a sense of protection. I'd like to think. I don't know. I'm sure people hunt sharks. But anyway, we have the Queen of Wands and the Four of Cups, luxury as well. Oh, so like with this being said, how can you use your thoughts to protect and be in this power we have with the fiery energy and thus like protect this internal world of balance? Because really, if you think about it, like luxury is this balance of knowing and feeling secure, right? It's not so much about what you have. It's just this feeling and knowing I am secure. Like I get to experience what I want when I want to. And there's this like surety of that. I love that word lately. The moon in Cancer. So very watery, if there's things showing up this week that, with this full moon that we just had, the eclipse that seem a little emotional, do what you need to just care for yourself. But I love how we have this like jaguar kind of energy with the Queen of Wands. How can you draw that in as well? Like we have a strong predatory energy here that's on your side, that's like wants to do your bidding. And like that's literally like the animal kingdom, but also like your thoughts that want to do your bidding. You may want to look up something like an egregore, creating an egregore, maybe creating a servitor. These are some of like the chaos magic concepts where you can make an entity to like do things for you. Maybe that's going to help bring more of the balance here. I don't know. Maybe that's something we talk about. Anyway, you could look that up. Servitor. Well, it's interesting that would show up. Okay, let's pull one of these cards for you. Oh, I got to read comments. Yes, this resonates a lot. Using my thoughts for protection, especially with what we're working through with me trying to get out there. I am secure. Oh, yeah. Thank you for saying that. I'm secure. When you said that, I smiled. I'm working towards becoming more secure and confident to start sharing my story. I like that. Okay. I think I saw another comment, didn't I? Or did someone write something else? But then, oh, Jose. Hi, Jose. Laboral predictions. I'll put your name down and hopefully we can get to everyone. Okay. So Tara, you have the Freedom card. This might be part of that affirmation to use. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. It's kind of what I was talking about, right? We have the Queen of Wands, which is the will, right? The desire, that progress, and the luxury to create that happiness, that stability inside. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. It's an internal world game, man. Totally internal. But you can use that as an affirmation. And, something I've been practicing lately, I invite you all to give this a try, is instead of just stating the affirmation, like turn it into a question. I'm all about questions here. But it's like, okay, the question could be like, how is it I came to know and really experience my own power and free will that helped me create this happiness? Like some form of that, word it how you want, but like play around with that. And yes, to hear it, like whatever that means for you, taking the steps, using the thoughts, which then leads to every other action. I am secure. I love that. So that is that. Thank you for being here, as always. Okay. Now let us move on. Lulu. Hello, Lulu. And yeah, if these readings, are supportive, obviously it helps me to know when you comment. Thank you. And yeah, I do this. It takes me time and energy. If you feel like donating, you can do that through the Super Bucks thing. You can join the membership. You can send a donation through the app, that PayPal link. But yeah, I appreciate that as always. But for now, let's check in with Lulu, calling your guides, your ancestors. That's funny. I'm like looking down here like as like a kid or something. Feels like there's a kid energy. Cobra. Okay, Lulu, Cobra. Oh, look at that mesmerizing image. Whoo, and the lines like going up. Oh, thanks, Tahira. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. See, you guys, may it come back to you tenfold, 100-fold. This Cobra, Lulu. Like I think I talked about this a while ago. I was reading a bit about like the Sufi tradition and the idea of the cobra and how the cobra brings to it its meal. How their belief is that it uses its breath to inhale and bring something, like magnetize it, and then basically hypnotize it on the exhale so it can go for what it wants. And it can call, I don't know how scientifically real this is, but I assume it is. And the gurus in India, these Sufi mystics, understood this practice because the cobra could be anywhere and start to draw to it what it needs. So if you're in a place of needing, maybe this little, like there's like a little kid here being like almost like, mommy, like me, I want something. Maybe that's you feeling like you're this child, or this part of you needing or wanting something. How can you use the breath? Okay. In meditations, I've been practicing like this, literally, like just being the cobra, being still, not overworking, not over engaging in anything. Instead, just focusing on my inhale, drawing things towards me, the things that I need or want. And then that exhale is almost like that, again, point and kill energy. Okay. There's so much here. Lulu. Okay, we're gonna pull some tarot cards. Oh, thank you, Robin. I appreciate that. Oh, look at that. Many blessings to you, tenfold, 100-fold. You're all making the wheel go around. Can I just say how exciting it is for next year to be the Wheel of Fortune year? We're going to be stepping out of this hermiting. So if you're feeling like you've been stuck or like you haven't made movement, that's okay. Okay. I just want to say that's okay. I told you guys I had a failure thing yesterday. You have no idea how horribly embarrassing the situation was. I'm not going to get into it. But I had to step away from something that I've been basically preparing all year for, and I just couldn't do it. My body wouldn't let me do it. And my body showed up in a way that was basically like, I don't think you should do this. And it was confirmed to me when the decision was overall, people were like, okay, yeah, you probably shouldn't do it. So sorry. And I was like, what the fuck? Why? I thought I was supposed to be making forward progress. No, that's okay. So Lulu, I'm just speaking these things. I think you're writing comments. I can't really see all the things here. Where am I going with this? you don't always have to be moving or like doing things. Even if you're having a sense of a need to like have something or be something or do something. Because this year itself is the hermit year. It's like the slowing down, it's the being like you're being in your space. Okay. And then yes, next year, Wheel of Fortune year 2026. Like, okay, I gotta read your comments, Lulu. I'm getting yes, I can be very silly. I like doing things that warm my inner child. That's awesome. I'm definitely going through a transformation, shedding, integrating, transmuting energy. Yeah. That's the hermit year. That's literally the hermit stands on the I wouldn't be surprised if the hermit card comes out. Oh my gosh, what's at the bottom here? I love how we have, well, this is not for you necessarily, but I love how we have the wheel at the bottom because this is that year. And yeah, it kind of, it sucks sometimes because we're feeling like we just, oh no, oh my God. I thought it was going to be the hermit card, but it's the Hierophant. That like, which I mean, I can't remember what they say. Oh, thank you, Lulu. I appreciate it. Look at this. Oh, I'm feeling golden opportunities. Blessings to you, tenfold, 100-fold beyond, Lulu. Thank you. Okay, I can't remember what my teacher says about this, but there's like 3 magi of the major arcana. I want to say the 3 magi are like the Magician card, the Hierophant, and the Hermit. So there's, if we were to perceive it like that, and yes, the Hierophant's the one that's kind of like out there and like sharing, disseminating the knowledge, the information, is the spiritual connection, right? Seen as the like that papal sort of figure. The hermit's the one that's like moved beyond that. I'm thinking of like the Sufi story of Shams and Rumi, and how, if you've ever heard, we know Rumi, right? The lovely poet of all these beautifully curated poems, so tuned into love. But like, do you know how he became that? Like Rumi was this one. He was the spiritual teacher. I don't know if we'd call him an imam, like necessarily, but in the Islamic tradition, he was the teacher. He shared teaching stories. He led the spiritual community. And then Shams of Tabriz came in and like was this hermity, eccentric trickster. He was the hermit, that high level energy. See, I'm going to tie everything together, you guys. He was that energy. He came in and he made Rumi, who we know Rumi as now, because of the relationship that they had. So I guess what I'm saying with all this is like, maybe whatever you're going through, Lulu, it's like the breathing to draw in. You know how that in the collective reading, there was that concept of friendship. Who is that Shams energy? But also not from an external sense, like it's like you are needing to become that Shams, not just the Rumi, but like the one who is that person who just stands in their power and becomes and lets themselves be who they need to be and talk who they need to be, because it's going to up level whatever this is inside of you that's this like structured religious spiritual person. Not saying that's a bad thing because it's needed. But I love how you got the inner child on the inside here too. So it's all this huge connecting thing. We got the feminine kind of energy too. We got the beasts of the creation all around. I don't know. There's something there. Anyways, okay, I'm going to shut up with that. And we're going to pull one of these cards. Okay. So many comments. Oh my gosh, I can't even keep up with it. I saw that breath work. Can't wait for new energy. Hello, Sarah M, who says, someone says, why are you always trying to go somewhere? Giving understanding. Nice. Thanks for being here, Sarah. Hi, Pius. Hello, hello. Oh, yes, we will get you in the list. I guess you're next. Then we'll get into Robin. Nice to have you here, Pius. Bay, the Fool is also a magus in his own way. Thank you. Yes, I like that. Yes, totally. And yeah, I wish I could remember what the three are. Bay, maybe you, yeah. I think you've messaged me before, have you not? Anyways. Love it. Inner child, femme, creative energy. Yeah, I found you. Okay. Ooh, oh, hi, Miss Megs. Okay, we're gonna pull one of these for Lulu, then we're gonna move on to the next person. Don't worry, John, you're gonna get cards pulled. I think you'll be the third person. Yeah, you'll be the third person, John. But Miss Megs, I'll get your name on there and hopefully we can get you in. And I guess I should say, if you do send me a priority reading payment thing through that PayPal link, let me know so I could check, because otherwise I'm not like looking at PayPal. Well, I'm not that type of person. Okay. Anyway. Okay, Lulu, let's see what this Soul Journey card has to say for you. Yeah, this would make sense. Service. What does it say? I feel good when I can help others. So I love how it's green. It's a heart chakra. We have this energy of like being of service, which the Hierophant is that. Again, the Hermit kind of like goes off, does his thing, but it's going to benefit everyone, right? But it's almost like it's for his own. But the Hierophant is definitely like an earth base. We have Taurus energy, right? There's like very much this being here and being of the earth and being connected to the rituals that link us as humans from spirit to the earth. So how can you tune into your service and recognize that even you being this Shams energy, this type of trickster, swirling dervish, eccentric being, can be of service? And I'm going to recommend this book. You guys, I just love this book. It's called the 40 Rules of Love, I think. Oh my gosh, who's the author? I just love this book. Ugh. 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. Yes, the 40 Rules of Love. Oh, such a beautiful story. She's an amazing author. I definitely encourage it. And I think it can shed a lot of light for you, Lulu, around this concept of the trickster being of service. So do what you will with that. Anyways, okay. Thanks for being here. Oh, John. I hear you. Sorry, that's kind of just how it works here. I mean, unless you want to pay and have a priority reading, you can do that. But I always, like I said, you can book a private reading if you're wanting a bit more time. This is sort of like a community thing. And I think for the most part, people know to have a little patience. Okay. It's a special time here in India. The next 14 days are all about remembering our ancestors and connecting to them. I like that, Pius. Thank you. Ooh, what a beautiful time. Right up until that 21st, Hermit energy to preserve and redirect myself, tapping into and embracing parts of me, the Shams energy. Heart chakra energy healing to clarify on what or how I want to be in service. Yeah. Ooh, this is so showing up. It's going to be more clear, especially in the next year with that whole move to, you're welcome. Lulu. Yeah. You're welcome. Petrapaksh. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but that's cool. Thanks for sharing that, Pius. Okay. So, Pius, you're next. Let's pull some cards for you. And then we are going to move on to Robin and then John. Okay, Pius. And again, members get priority readings. There's the option. I opened that. If you want to do the PayPal link in the pinned comment at the top or wherever it shows up on your page, you can do that. We call it the Pius's guides. Those ancestors, I guess, walking on the earth in these next 14 days. What message do you have for her around this being a rebel, making a difference? And I'm just hearing the words like be loud, which is interesting. Well, okay, we have the buffalo card that came out, which like buffaloes are freaking massive. I don't know if you've seen them. Here we have like national and provincial parks where the bison buffalo are like, I see those as the same. I know they're a bit different, but they're like held in high regard. And like a huge thing is you aren't supposed to go near them. Like you can't, I think there's like a rule of thumb. Like you're supposed to be able to like fit the buffalo behind your entire thumb or something like this, and that's the distance. If you can see like the buffalo past your thumb, then you're too close, is what they say, because they'll like charge at you. But they look like they're slow, and they look just like kind of like not like they would hurt you, except that they're massive. But I'm just thinking about how I said, like, be loud. Like, you don't have to necessarily move quick or be able to run. Like, we've had like the wolf and the cheetah, like jaguar, like this type of predatory energy show up, the shark, even, right? These things I think can like go. The buffalo can move and will like crush you. But it's like, Pius, for you, how can you use this voice as your sense of power? As your sense of making a difference in where you've been, okay? Or where you're going or where you are. The ancestors are close. The veil is thinner. That's interesting, that time. I wonder why that is there versus like closer to the October, like some Samhain time and all that. You've seen the bison. Okay. Cool. So what is this more of this being loud for Pius? Knight of Cups. We got Princess of Dis. Yeah, see, there's definitely something here about this. And I guess I want to like just bring in with your prayers over these next 14 days because I don't know, Bae, maybe you know more about this. I feel like for whatever reason, if you're still at Princess of Dis, that is connected to like coming up with the soul or equinox time, right? September, I think. I feel like I asked the same question last time this card came up. But if we think about the next couple weeks coming up to that equinox, the energies of this transition and like this new kind of start, Pius, for you, like how can your prayers be loud so that you can like trample through and like let yourself be heard and make a ripple effect in that like thinning of the veil? Because it's going to come, it's like something about your emotions with the Knight of Cups and the manifestation into the physical with the disc. Using our voice and really like, you know, I don't know if you've prayed so much where you're like becoming emotionally charged and like crying, like, you know, in this like euphoric sort of state. There's something about this, I think, that's really going to help you, Pius. Honoring and lifting up that emotion of like Cancer, I guess, as an offering to the gods. So anywhere in which you've been doing it and you're like, okay, I think I could get louder. I could be stronger with it. Call in the buffalo. Tune into that. I don't know if you can get like a buffalo horn. That might be worth something. Like a horn. I'm seeing the horn is like being filled with the water and offering that. Yoy, yoy, yoy. Well, you have two cards, but they're both orange. So sacral chakra, we have forgiveness and we have change. So maybe there's some prayers of forgiveness, some prayers around like changing how you've been doing things, changing how you've been perceiving the things in your world. Can you offer those up as well? I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. And I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So see these prayers as like a stomping up of the things of that past so that you can move them forward. And they might be unconventional ways to pray in where you are located, like the invitation to do it in a way that lets you be yourself and move the energy. Let it come from the sacral too, there, because again, we have the orangey, like there's something about that womb space, like coming up, the emotion, the traumas, the things that it may be sitting there that's going to really, offering it up, the chalice. Okay. Oof. Ooh, that went really fast. The energy was just like streaming with that one time. Which is interesting. Oh, I am being heard, I feel. That's cool. Yeah, like to pray and to be heard is like a huge thing. Perhaps you're too loud to hear guidance. Ooh, feminine and buffalo run into the storm. Listening to self. Everything has balance. Okay. Ooh, Robin. I'm going to try to get through everyone because I'm going to have to go here in like 19 minutes. Robin in NYC. What do we see? So we got Robin here, calling to your guides, your ancestors. What card? Animal card. Okay. Oh, there's one just sitting there. Should I be pulling that? I don't think I need to. But you have the Phoenix. It just like went like, woo. I was going to say, so Robin, we'll do you, then we get to John, Jose, if Jose is still here, and then hopefully Miss Megs. Okay. So Robin, the Phoenix. I'm just seeing like that Harry Potter movie or whatever, the Phoenix Rising. Have you watched that? I don't know. Maybe you need to watch it. I mean, we know the Phoenix is a powerful animal. Something about a rebirth here. I'm really trying to recall what I remember from those books or even that film, that particular film. But like, remember isn't it like in the movie and Harry like walks up to the cage and like witnesses the animal like literally like dissolving and he's like, oh fuck, I did something wrong, right? And then Dumbledore, I think, comes up and says like, oh no, like that's normal. Like maybe there's some energy here for you, Robin, around like for you being the Phoenix. But like, like maybe you come across people who've gone through like spiritual awakenings and different journeys and they're like telling you things and then they get like maybe a bit embarrassed, like, oh, like that's maybe was too weird. But like I'm seeing you as the one who gets to be the example of things that have shifted in your life and transformed, and also the one that gets to be like, oh no, like that's totally normal. Like, how can you like do that more? I don't know. Like, do you have to start writing something or like putting things out there around your experience or commenting on people's stuff? Like, like so many people on YouTube comment how they've gone through things. And I think it's sometimes people will be like, oh, I shouldn't get too involved in other people's comments. But I kind of see it as like that can be like really helpful for some folks, not from a place of telling them what to do. But yeah. So you've never seen Harry Potter. I would definitely recommend watching at least that one. I think it's like, what is it called, you guys? Phoenix Rising? The Order of the Phoenix? Something like that. Ooh, so it's interesting because you have the 9 of Swords, which is cruelty. And it's kind of just what I was saying, it's like maybe you've been burned even sharing your thoughts with people before. Or maybe you experienced like someone telling you about their experience. It just like felt like yucky. Like we're transforming that here, okay? So that you can turn into the 6 of Cups, this pleasurable sensation. Seeing how the cups, everything is interconnected and interwoven and feeding itself and the others, because everyone is getting a benefit from it. So I just call to the angels, guides too, and the phoenix to support with shifting this perspective because your voice matters, your experience matters, and it can actually bring a lot of healing for others. And I think too, with this Six of Cups, we have the sun in Scorpio. So to me, it's like really letting yourself in your obsessive kind of like trickster energy. Really, that's Scorpios. We're freaking like weirdos. To like really like be in that and like express it and share it out, like not hide it under the rock, right? And it's interesting because Scorpio, the scorpion becomes like a phoenix, or there's this like connection with the phoenix rising, the Scorpio serpent, eagle, or whatever kind of concept. So there's something there. And we have Mars here in Gemini. So we got Mars, which is also tied to Scorpio. Whew, fiery. Sun, fiery. Okay, what here is really going to help with Robin's transitioning, transformation of these thoughts, this healing? Trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. So whenever you're feeling the doubt or the worry about, I've been burned before when I shared this, like just trust. If it feels right, if it feels true for you, then you can just do it. It's going to work out. And again, like I said, sometimes you might say something and someone's gonna be like, why don't you mind your own business or whatever? It's like, that's their thing. As long as you know you're coming from integrity and heart, this doesn't mean being an asshole. Again, come from a place of, making sure it's the right moment to share. This doesn't mean go give recommendations or suggestions to everyone online. It's just more about, I remember going through a very similar thing when I went through my journey, and it helped me to get through it by whatever, right? I've read this book and it really opened my eyes. The person takes what they want, they can do what they want, or they can walk away. So just trust. And this is going to help, I think, significantly with that. But I definitely recommend if you want to watch that movie. I'm not like a huge Harry Potter fan, but, just say. Ooh. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome, Robin. Sweet. Okay, John, you are next. 2 weeks ago, I had a fall out with my mother. I think that is why forgiveness. Yeah, that victim mindset. I agree, Pius. You got it. The ancestors can help you. So we're going to call to those guides, John Army, for a message here. What animal wants to come through for you? We're going to get through everyone. I'm telling you, man. I believe it. Woohoo, we got this one. Okay, I turned the deck upside down for whatever reason. There's wolf underneath, so confirmation. But we have, like, this is the trickster energy, the hyena. So we're coming from the full moon to the waning moon. And it's interesting how there's something here. There's something really for you, John, around light and shadow that I think you were being asked to look at from a place of humor. What about your shadow? Maybe you've been avoiding. Guides, an ancestral message. Queen of Wands again. There's something about the spots, because this hyena has spots, and the Queen of Wands card with that, I don't know, cheetah, jaguar, I don't know what those. It also has spots. So like something about how you're wearing your emotions. And it's interesting, John, because you've like used a lot of emojis as we've gone through this. Like, it's like to like express your emotions, I would say. There's something, what is that? Okay, so I'm going to just show you. So we got like the spots on the hyena. So he's light, but he's got these spots of dark, right? But it makes his coat. Same with this cheetah jaguar thing. I don't know what it is. It also has spots. It's golden light, but it has spots, right? It's not hiding its shadow. It's letting its shadow, its emotions, all of the traits make it identify who it is, I guess, or make it let it be itself. I don't know why I can't word that. Huh. But then you also have the Prince of Cups. Okay. Like, I want to just like point out how your experiences, your emotions hold a sense of wisdom. Because look how he's got that snake in the cup. It's almost like he's about to drink it, right? Like it's like so important. He's really focused on that. So whatever maybe has happened to you in your past that maybe has been shady, like influencing emotions, making you perceive things, maybe not in the clearest light. We'll just ask the angels to help clear that now. To bring balance to this water fire energy that's present, this light and dark kind of energy. And that this is going to really start to activate in the next week with this like waning moon. Something about balancing both of these aspects, John, for you. Okay, is there one more card that you want to give here that he could maybe use to really embody this balanced energy of light and shadow? Well, I think that the comedy is definitely going to be a part of that. Humor. Can you laugh at your failures? Can you laugh at the things from your past, John, that maybe are like covering parts of your strengths and parts of your weaknesses? Because I'm really just seeing like the cloudy mist behind him. But it says, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So you could state that. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. You could also ask a question is like, what have I learned from my past mistakes? You know, what about this past mistake has led to new opportunities for me? What have led to new strengths developing? Whatever it might be, asking the question is going to really help you here, okay? To move beyond it and then laugh. Laugh at yourself. Laugh at your mistakes. Oh my God, I don't believe I just said that. Like, oh, or I don't believe I just did that. Silly me. Be that hyena. That's going to help so much. Use appropriate laughter in groups or certain settings, But I think we all know, like, that's why the what do you call it? Like, if you do you do stand-up comedy, John, or interested in that? I don't know, maybe I'm seeing like I keep seeing that, and then I'm like getting the Joker in like the courtroom with the what do you call it? The king image. So whatever that might be for you. Anyways. Hi, Rob Milo. John, anything about career? I don't know. Well, that was what came through. So maybe it's something around your career and your failures. See how you can apply what I just shared to that. I don't do too much specific themed readings, to be honest, because this is not about predictions. This is about just tuning into the energies of the cards to like, activate something inside of you. Align you with energies that are going to take you on your highest good in all areas of your life. So, okay, Jose, let's do you. Jose Souza, calling to your guides. But yeah, John, if you're like contemplating like stand-up comedy or something like that, I don't know, maybe it's worth exploring. Yes, thank you for sharing. You were listening to what was needed. I was talking about something else. Take care, Sarah. Oh, okay, John, thanks. You got two animals here, Jose. Ooh, that's weird. I just so you have gazelle and you have otter, and what I instantly got, oh my God, I can't pick it up, was this like sense of You and like a feminine energy, like as this a partner or something. I don't know, there's like a joining. And I love how I see white and the black, light and shadow again. I guess whatever's going on for you, Jose, in relationship or like in partnership, right? Because I think you initially had said something about job as well. I can't remember how you worded it, but it was like labor relations or something. But it's like, how can you recognize that your place in a workplace or a relationship, a position, a partnership is equally as important? I can't remember the exact terminology, but there's this idea that like in a group setting, there's going to always be certain archetypes or people that show up. Everyone's going to play a particular role. And I've had to come to terms with this because I find that oftentimes, a rebel, trickster, or whatever kind of outside trailblazer type will perceive or say things that tend to be like outside the box. And it can be like, oh, why did I say that? Like, why do I show up like this? Right. And we doubt ourselves, but it's like it's needed. So, Jose, whatever that might bring up for you, playfulness of the otter, the ability to flow and move in the water, and the gazelle who's on the earth, who's also able to move and like freely flow. But there's something even just about the horns and like the gentleness of the otter, but then the gazelle who can be a bit more like moving fierce with that sun and that fire energy. So you have to just recognize where you are within that. We're going to pull one of these. Because if you don't, we have here the 10 of wands, oppression. It's like if you don't really recognize this, you're going to just hold yourself in a trap. So if you felt, one thing on there. But if you felt, Jose, that you've been trapped or like oppressed in work or in experiences, it's probably because you haven't been embracing your role within the partnership, okay? You haven't been embracing you as you because you've been envious. Like, how come I couldn't be like that? Or maybe also you're fearful of people being envious of you, whatever it might be. But it says here, I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. So can you just trust whatever it is you're going through, trust the process, trust that you are meant to be who you are, and to let that be a part of you as you show up in the workplace. This is, I think, a really beautiful thing where we get to build these collectives of humans, communities where everyone gets to bring their gifts and to get to try different things and really let their light shine through. Okay. Okay, Jose, I think that's it. I'm trying to get through everyone and I want to be done in a few minutes here. Okay. To forgiveness and knowing that life is not happening to you, but through you. I like that. Okay, so Miss Megs, we're moving on to you, but I want to just thank everyone for being here. Thank you for all your lovely donations today, for taking part in this conversation. It means a lot to me. Helps support me with what I'm doing here, spreading this light. As I mentioned, we have the Alchemy Collective, the free community call happening on the 18th of September. It's a Thursday. The link is in the description if you want to sign up for an experience that you may not have experienced before. But it's going to be a great way if you are curious about transcending illusions and reclaiming your freedom, reclaiming your sovereignty, and like just trust, while also empowering yourself so that you can create a magical life, the life of your dreams. Then I invite you to join me on that day. You'll have to sign up so you get the Zoom link. And I'll be announcing some other cool ways in which we can work together. And yeah, that you can just move forward in your path. So with that being said, Miss Megs, your guides. And this card had shown up earlier. It was like one, not on like another reading. It was upside like or left, but I didn't pull it out. But we have whale. So there's a deep ancestral energy. I don't know if you're not in the members section, but the live today, was it today? No, it might be in a couple of weeks. I don't remember. There's an energy about like ocean energy, dolphins, whales, like these things communicating. So there's something coming through, Miss Megs. Something coming through, wanting to come through, deep ancestral stuff. I love how Pius mentioned the next like 14 days are going to be a potent time for that. You may want to do some ceremony, ritual around that because this whale is calling. We have the Ace of Discs. So calling to spirit for your financial support, because spirit's the one that first gives that disc, gives that earthly realm. Okay. And you can call to the angels or the 4 directions too. So many symbols in this card. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, let's put that there. Oh, and look, the Wheel of Fortune came out, you guys. I love that. And virtue. So we have the 1 or Ace of Discs, 3 of Wands with virtue, and the Wheel of Wands, the 3 of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, there's definitely something about like you tuning into your creative spark with the 4 directions, your ancestral lineage. And virtue I'm seeing is like the values, like your ethics, like I'm almost like seeing it as like a bargaining. Like, it's like, okay, because I don't feel like we need to operate like this. But maybe you have been. Maybe this is why. Maybe you've been operating on like, well, I'm a good person and I deserve to have this, or I did this bad thing, or like I made a mistake here. So maybe that's why I'm not getting like the money now, or I don't know, whatever that is. I think you're going to be asked to explore that in the next couple weeks, and whale can help you to unravel that. The 4 directions, your ancestral connection can help unravel that, so that you can start to recognize that you don't have to deserve anything to get something. Like you just deserve to have it. Does that make sense? Like you don't have to work for it in a way that's like proving yourself mistakes. And to trust that this whole Wheel of Fortune, this thing happens, this movement of the wheel through even the hard times, the lack, the scarcity, whatever, because it's all part of the process. Okay. But I'm seeing you envisioning yourself with this wheel around you, calling to the 4 directions, calling to the archangels, if you know them, Raphael, Gabriel, Michael, Oriel, those 4. And letting them support you with whatever it is you're wanting to bring into your life. Okay. One last card for Miss Megs. Whew, I really made it fast here, you guys, today. Gratitude. So what gratitude can you hold even in the hard times? I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. This is a great card for us all to walk away with today. But Miss Megs, how can you tune into that gratitude for everything that you do have? Not what you don't have, not what you wish you had, but everything you do have. And that starts from an internal world too, of like, wow, like just so much gratitude for my body, for this mind that I have, this like curious mind, this perception that I can hold, and these abilities to like see beyond the veil, whatever it is. Having gratitude is going to help solidify all this, draw in whatever that sense of abundance in the physical world is maybe calling for you. And yeah, let the whale sing its sweet song. Maybe you're doing a whale meditation. That might be cool. Okay. I think that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And again, thank you to those of you who donated, to those of you just being here, sharing your energy, doing your part in receiving these messages. Do what you will with them. But trust as the next week goes on, then so many more potentials will happen. So much more insight will come for you. And again, there's the link in the description for that Alchemy Collective call happening next week, Thursday. And for those of you in the membership portal, we have the activation, our energy activation and healing. It's going to be this Friday. So look out for that live release. I'm going to be putting it up later today. It'll be, I believe, in the evening at some point. or was it in the afternoon? I don't remember. It's sometime. I have to put it out there. It's in my calendar. And yeah, that's for the members. And we'll be really tuning into the spiritual activation, the soul activation, and like really rebirthing the spark for your spiritual journey. Because this month has been about spiritual awakening, emergence, and what wants to show up. So if you want to take part in that, you can join. I've decided to open that to the entire community membership, not just the Practicus, like second tier members. So even if you want to join for the Zealotr membership this month, you can do that. Hit the join button. And yeah, I'm excited to enter that energetic healing space with you. But if not, then join me next week for the free community call, the Alchemy Collective. So until then, you guys, have a great day. And yeah, we'll chat soon. Bye.